Bitter criticism, a beautiful night right here from the global south. There's some optical phenomena happening over there in Laguna Verde. We are seeing some flashes from light, but you are not seeing nothing. I mean, there's some. I mean, what is that? Housing. There's some houses over there, and the houses this have those lights, loud house lights, and they are reflecting the sea in the water, so it's beautiful, but it's not too much. Anyway, here we are with a couple of news from Russia Today, TASS, and only one from from Cgtn, one or two from Cgtn, and that's it. I don't bring my internet cell phone. I just have the news I have, and maybe there will be no time for read nothing. There will be no time because and maybe there's not every single photo here, but there's a couple. Well, I will do what I can. I will try to read some news now. There's one photo that didn't come. Anyway, bitter criticism. Well, there's an important news. Everybody's talking about this news. September 1, Russia Today. Right-wing party claims historic victory in German state election. September 4th, 2024. Right-wing party claims historic victory in German state election. Alternative for Germany, AfD, has won nearly 33% of the votes in Thuringia, according to preliminary results. We have a file photo. AfD party's co-leader, Tino Shrupaila, holds shirt with the inscription, quote, "I'm lucky to live on the right." I'm lucky to live on the right. So now I got the meaning of this logo, of this jersey. This is the former communist Germany, and now they are ruled by the right. So we are going backward. In my opinion, we are going backwards in Germany, at least. Definitely backwards to the right. I'm lucky to live on the right at an election rally in Saxony. So these people won. The Alternative for Germany, AfD, appears has won its fourth state election since the right-wing party's establishment in 2013. 10 years ago, 11 years ago. According to official preliminary results, the AfD has claimed 32.8% of the vote in Sunday's legislative election in the state of Thuringia, in the eastern part of Germany. The Conservative Christian Democratic Union, CDU, party is expected to come in second, with 23.6% of the ballots. The two parties were also neck and neck in the neighboring state of Saxony, according to exit polls, with CDU and AfD claiming 32% and 31.5% of the vote respectively. None of the members of Germany's ruling traffic light coalition, the Social Democratic Party, SPD, of Chancellor Olaf Scholz, the Free Democratic Party, FDP, and the Greens were able to make it to the top three in either of the states. The third place in Thuringia and Saxony went to the newly formed left-wing party of Sarah Wagensneck BSW, despite being on the opposite sides of the political spectrum. BSW and AFD both call for stronger controls on immigration and an end to Berlin's support for Ukraine amid its conflict with Russia. The co-leader of AFD, Alice Weidel, said that the party has achieved a historic success in the election in Thuringia and Saxony, where roughly 1.7 and 3.3 million people were eligible to vote, respectively. In an interview with broadcaster ARD, she described the projected outcome as a requiem for Scholz coalition and urged for a general election to be held in Germany. The right-wing party's other co-leader, Tino Shrupala, said that the people in both states have made it clear that, quote, there should be a change of politics. AFD is ready and willing to talk to all parties, Shrupala stressed. You know, I have to recognize Donald Trump and people from the right wing, they are better. Yeah, they are better politicians, you know. They are versatile, you know. They are not hysterical like these wokeist, liberal, globalist people. They are unbearable, you know. These people, they are hysterical. They are, what can I say? They are rebels without a cause, as we say in Latin lands. They have no cause to be so rebels, to be so unbearable, so unpolite, and so on. Anyway, the right-wing party's co-leader Tino Shrupala said that the people in both states have made it clear that, quote, there should be a change of politics. AFD is ready and willing to talk to all parties, Shrupala stressed. However, AFD is unlikely to be able to form a regional government in any of the states, as their political opponents refuses to work with it. Quote, an openly right-wing extremist party has become the strongest force in a state parliament for the first time since 1949, and that causes many people very deep concern and fear. The co-leader of the Greens, Omid Nouripour, insisted. The CDU's National General Secretary, Karsten Linnemann, said that voters in both states knew that we will not form a coalition with AFD, and it will stay that way. Weidel described such a stance by the Christian Democrats as pure ignorance. Yo, I have some interesting news from Russia today, but I'm going to jump to the latest ones from Cgtn. They are talking the same thing, or it was Al Jazeera. I don't know, but I always... Yeah, look, Cgtn. This is a news from Cgtn from Thomas O. Falk. Cgtn now. Opinion. September 4th, 2024. The elephant in the room. Germany's immigration paralysis amid crisis. I guess it's not the same thing, but it's very related, I guess. So, Westphalia. Flowers and candles are laid in memory of the victims of the Solingen knife attack. Solingen, North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany. I don't know what's that. I don't know what was going on there, but so yeah, the former communist region in uh, East East Germany, the communist Germany, is under right-wing rulers. So I guess, well, this is kind of normal because Germany is like a United States control country. They are controlled by the United States, and they have all this propaganda. Some time ago, I read on Russia Today that the CIA is behind all this. CIA is behind the all this propaganda, brainwash on everybody. Swedes, Finnish, Finland, Switzerland, or Sweden. Yeah, I'm kind of sad because but I have to realize that European people, they are not that nice. Historically, they have been barbarians. Historically, Chinese people, they are better, I guess. I mean, I'm talking about the universal history, making a balance, about the people itself. Europe is not that great, in historical meanings, in historical. So yeah, I guess I'm going to Asia. I guess it's better. Anyway, the elephant in the room: Germany's immigration paralysis amid crisis. Editor's note: Falk, a special commentator on current affairs for Cgtn in a London-based political analyst, is a London-based political analyst and commentator. He holds a Master of Arts in International Relations from the University of Birmingham and specializes in U.S. affairs. The article reflects the author's opinion and not necessarily the views of Cgtn. The recent terror attack in Solingen, I don't know what happened there. The recent terror attack in Solingen is a stark reminder that Germany's immigration policy, I have no idea what happened in Solingen, that Germany's immigration policy, or rather the lack thereof, is in dire need of an overhaul. Despite a slew of promises from the government, there has been little progress in addressing the deep-rooted problems associated with immigration, leaving the country vulnerable to both social unrest and political upheaval. Just 1 second, I lost connection here. Oh no. Oh, I lost everything. Just a second. I lost the news. But a nice article from Cgtn. I guess it's not the first time I read this guy. Interesting. History of art. Yeah, definitely. That's a very interesting subject. And here we go. The recent terror attack in Solingen is a stark reminder that Germany's immigration policy, or rather the lack thereof, is in dire need of an overhaul. Despite a slew of promises from the government, there has been little progress in addressing the deep-rooted problems associated with immigration, leaving the country vulnerable to both social unrest and political upheaval. Unfortunately, the nation can no longer take solace in a booming economy either. In fact, Germany's economy, once the robust engine of Europe, is faltering. Germany was one of the worst performing major economies last year, with its GDP contracting by 0.3%. Yeah, that's normal because there's no more cheap energy from Russia. Everybody knows that. Inflation remains stubbornly high, eroding the purchasing power of ordinary Germans. Unemployment is creeping up, and consumer confidence is plummeting. Moreover, yeah, I guess is nice because for me it's nice because I was considering migrate to there. Anyway, I have some personal, overall, I guess. I don't hate Germans. I actually I like German language, but in my personal life, I had threats. I have problems with anyway, personal problems. So I guess I'm happy. Moreover, under the traffic light coalition of German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, the polarization in German society is reaching unprecedented levels. Unprecedented levels. Debates over immigration, climate change, and national identity are no longer mere political disagreements, but have become existential battles. The center once a place of consensus and compromise is eroding as fringe voices grow louder. Social media amplifies these divisions, creating echo chambers that deepen mistrust and hostility between different segments of society. Against this backdrop, the knife attack in Solingen on August 23 is not just another tragic incident, but a glaring symptom of a larger problem. The attacker, a 26-year-old Syrian refugee whose application had been denied, carried out a brutal assault during a festival celebrating Solingen's 150th anniversary. 3 people were murdered and 8 others were injured. The Islamic State claimed responsibility, asserting that the attacker was one of their soldiers. But this, not all of Asia is nice, but what can I say? The Middle East is a victim, is a victim from the hegemon, from the United States. Germany is also a victim from the United States. So yeah, but the hard question is that they don't understand that they don't know that. They don't see the United States as what can I say, as evil, as the hegemon. Understand the hegemon? I forgot now the Thomas Hobbes Leviathan. Leviathan. The United States is the Leviathan. Anyway, Germans don't understand. The attacker was due to be deported last year. However, due to the bureaucratic inefficiencies, this did not occur. This failure is emblematic of the broader paralysis with Germany's immigration system. Despite repeated warnings about the security risks posed by certain segments of the immigrant population, the government has been unable or unwilling to take decisive actions. Schulz's response to the attack has been predictably tepid, with calls for striker knives laws and vague promises of tighter immigration controls. Yeah, stupid globalist liberals. They have they are the United States allies. So the United States is doing this against Middle East, is creating all this chaos. The United States is creating terrorists for Europe, and in the liberal soul side, I don't know what can he do. it's very tricky, because he is a liberal. He's a American ally. So American is making Germany die. That's it. And what can Scholz do? Nothing. Just be a moron, just like he is, reinforcing calls for stricter knife laws. Stricter knife laws. What the hell is that? Absolutely vague. Well, Germans don't know that the U.S. is the hegemon. Is what I said. Hobbes' Leviathan. Is the Leviathan. These promises, however, ring hollow. The reality is that Germany's immigration system is broken, and the government lacks the political will to fix it. The problem is not merely one of inadequate laws, but of a systematic failure to enforce existing regulations. After all, the attacker should never have been in Germany in the first place, and the fact that he was allowed to remain is a damning indictment of the government's incompetence. It's very, very tricky, because some Germany people, this issue of wokeism, the liberalism, says you have to be tolerant, well, but I guess the best answer is that America, the United States, destroyed the Middle East. This guy from Syria, he used to be in a good country, in a very good country. Syria was destroyed by the U.S. The U.S. destroyed Libya. The U.S. destroyed Iraq. The U.S. destroyed all the Middle East, creating a lot of terrorists. That's the truth. Only the truth will free yourself. I'm getting religious here. Only the truth will save you. Anyway, so we have a photograph from a rally. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz speaks at a campaign rally for the Saxony regional election in Chemnitz, Germany. August 30, 2024, Xinhua News. This paralysis has direct political implications that will further divide Germany. The states of Thuringia and Saxony held elections this weekend. The far-right Alternative for Germany, AfD, a party already under surveillance by the German Domestic Intelligence Agency for its extremist tendencies, is pulling alarmingly well. These numbers are unprecedented for a party that was once on the fringes of German politics, and they are a direct result of the political establishment's failure to address the concerns of ordinary Germans. If the AfD wins, it will mark a watershed moment in Germany's post-war history. For the first time, a far-right party with a history of xenophobia and ties to extremist groups could gain control of the German state governments, and it is the fault of the political establishment inability to listen to its people. A vacuum the AfD is all too eager to fill. I'm if right here in Chile there was Salvador Allende in 1973. I am a leftist. I am an extreme leftist. I'm Trotskyist, but I'm just tired of this. I am absolutely tired about personifications. Idolatry and drama. I'm done with drama. For me it's unbearable to keep this cult the this cultuation to Salvador Allende, because he just died, you know. You have to listen his last speech. He says, hey, um, take a lesson, you know, study my case. I was wrong, you know. I tried to make a peaceful revolution here in Chile, and I failed, you know. That's what he says. So basically he says, hey, I'm failed, don't do what I did, you know. And he's saying that for the world. And well, what about Hitler? All these people condemning what Hitler did. You know, this is so long ago. So long ago. You know, everybody knows this. Hitler, Nazism, Hitler is not worse than what is going on now in Germany. Globalism, neoliberalism, that is the worst thing. Maybe Germany is not that bad as the Weimar Republic right now, but we will see, you know, we will see what is going to happen. Who knows? But I am saying this because this is kind of, well, from Cgtn, even from Cgtn. So it's a shame, I guess, because I'm not saying Hitler was right or nothing, but what I'm saying is Hitler didn't came from nowhere, you know. You have to understand Nazism, you have to understand Hitler, understand, and not just censored saying, oh, you cannot do Nazi, you cannot be a Nazi in Germany. Why? Because of idealism. That is the idealism, you know, wokeist idealism. Anyway, no brains in Germany, no brains in Chile, only idealism. And well, neoliberalism. Do you like neoliberalism? Forget about Salvador Allende and Hitler. We have neoliberalism. That's what we have, you know. Suicide, infanticide, craziness, sects, crazy. It's not Salvador Allende's fault, it's not Hitler's fault, it's not their faults, you know. It's not Pinochet's fault, it's Biden's fault, you know. It's Biden's fault. Anyway, ties to extremist groups could a history of xenophobia and ties to extremist groups could again control of German state governments, and it is the fault of the political establishment's inability to listen to its people, a vacuum the AfD is all too eager to fill. Well, I guess, I don't know this guy, I don't remember his name. I just read, but I guess he's not as bad as Biden, you know. Guess Biden is the worst. I guess he will talk. He will dialogue. He will dialogue with Trump. He will dialogue with everybody. The party's message is simple. The current government is not only ineffective but also indifferent to the security and well-being of its citizens. Its rhetoric may be divisive and dangerous, but it is resonating with a growing number of Germans who feel left behind by a political class that is more concerned with platitudes than real solutions. Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. This text, this paragraph is perfect. Germany undoubtedly stands at a crossroads, and its leaders must wake up to the reality that their inaction is not just a political liability but a national security threat. The time for empty promises is over. What is needed now is decisive action to secure the borders, enforce. I lost. Enforce what? Enforce. I lost. So we lost the end. And well, another news from Cgtn about German, all about Germany, Russia Today and Cgtn, Europe, September 2, from the future, from tomorrow. Right here is not September 2 yet. September 2, 2024. Germany's AfD wins first time ever state election in Thuringia. September 2nd, 2024. We have a photograph. Visitors to the state parliament watch the RAD projection from 7 p.m. on a screen in Erfurt, Thuringia, Germany. In a significant political shift, German right-wing Alternative for Germany (AfD) party secure its first ever victory in a state election on Sunday. According to the preliminary results released on Sunday night, the party garnered 32.8% of the vote in East Germany state of Thuringia, becoming the strongest force in the state parliament. The AfD's triumph comes amidst growing discontent with the current federal government, a coalition of the Social Democratic Party, the Greens, and the Free Democratic Party. Trailing behind the AfD in Thuringia was a conservative Christian Democratic Union (CDU) with 23.9% of the vote. However, the AfD's path to forming a government is difficult. Other major parties have ruled out any possibility of collaboration with AfD. Have ruled out any possibility of collaboration with AfD. That's bad, you know. This is just bad. The AfD demonstrated similar strength in Saxony, where elections were also held on Sunday, narrowly trailing the CDU. Additionally, the newly formed Sarah Wagenknecht Alliance. This is a German word. Wagenknecht Alliance (BSW) came third in both Thuringia and Saxony. Most of the BSW's founding members had belonged to the Left Party. Another Eastern German state, Brandenburg, is scheduled to hold state elections later this month. Polls indicate that the AfD is currently leading as well. Nevertheless, the established firewall against cooperating with the AfD maintained by other parties suggests that the subsequent coalition negotiations in these states will likely be fraught with complexities. And that's it, I guess. So that was all from Germany. Well, this time there's kind of 15 minutes. I don't know what I'm going to read now. I want to read some stupid news. Look, I have a very stupid news about this news is what's sponsored on my Facebook timeline. This is from The Guardian. A paper I guess I read once, but they tried to sell me to give me some Western garbage. So this is garbage. TheGuardian.com. What about the British people? What about the British people? Electric, hybrid, and low-emission cars, upcycling a black cab, or buying lorry. I don't know what's buying, but looks like a old. I will say it's not bad, you know, a black cab or a bin lorry. Growing industry converts all vehicles to electric. You know, I like everybody. You know, I like English people, German people. I just don't like neoliberalism, I guess these people can be communists too. Yeah, that's internationalism, that's Trotskyism. Everybody should be communist. Anyway, life in the UK is not that good. It's not being that great. Entrepreneurs are replacing petrol and diesel engines on buses, boats, and even planes, and say the impact is not only environmental. So this is garbage, but wokeism. Jasper Jolie and Mahika Ravi Shankar. Saturday, 31 August from yesterday. This news got my attention because I think the cars not that old, not from the 50s. Those cars I guess are from the 60s or 50s. I like the cars from the 90s, from the 80s. I saw some cars like Chevette. I don't know if you know this car from South America, a Chevrolet Chevette, or the original. Well, this is very old. The Fiat 500. This is very very old. Or the Mini Cooper, very old cars. But there's a lot of like the Fiat 147, I guess. A lot of old cars, but those are the more beautiful. I don't know what happened to car design, but in the 2020s, it's just bullshit. Just garbage cars. Terrible oil cars, ugly. They're terrible, absolutely terrible. Anyway, by all rights, the 2007 black cab driving through London on a sunny summer day should be on its way out. Taxis older than 12 years are not eligible for licenses in the city to try to cut air pollution, but this one is different. Under its bonnet is an electric battery and motor. Yeah, that's what I want. Some of these cars, there's this Chevrolet Opala. This is a very big car, Opala. Back in Brazil, guess what? Was the favorite, I guess, mafia. Thugs, the favorite thug car, the Opala, because it has to carry dead people in the. Yeah, that's the sad truth about the Opala in Brazil. Anyway, that will not have been immediately obvious to the family trying to hail the Guardian's cab on a test drive by the River Thames. The boxy black vehicle is a familiar sight of London streets, but with a very different feel. After being retrofitted by a startup, Clipper Automotive, it has the smooth and near silent acceleration of an electric motor, replacing the previous. I don't know what I don't get the diesel engine. The taxi is part of but small but growing industry, replacing footing fossil fuels engine. Oh, I just lost part of the text. Much electric power conversations have already extended all beyond London cabs to most nothing that previously ran on petrol or real classic cars can be upgraded to run without exhaust emissions. Several companies are upcycling vans to make them run on batteries. Equipment re-engineer buses in Norfolk and new. Well, this is a good news about getting electric. Beyond automotive, entrepreneurs are targeting boats and even planes, although battery ranges limit planes to the shortest journeys for now. Companies such as Switch Electric Bike Conversions and Dillinger cater to those who want to speed up their push bikes. The principle is consistent. Why scrap a perfectly good vehicle when you can just add a battery and motor instead? scrap a perfectly good vehicle. I don't get it, but I got, yeah, I will take note from these companies. Maybe I'll do it. I will write them and say, hey, what about a Fiat, a old Fiat from the 80s? The principle is consistent. Why scrap a perfectly good vehicle when you can just add a battery and a motor instead? Scrap, yeah. Osman Boyner founded Bedeo to convert the delivery vans to electric for last mile deliveries. Bedeo has worked with Stellantis, the world's third largest car maker, to offer electric versions of new Vauxhall, Peugeot, and Citroën vans. Nice. Yeah, I guess because design, you even, let's say, Fusca, the Beagle, the original Beagle is not the same car. I guess I prefer the original. The Fiat 500 is not the same as the new one. And so on. The new ones, I just got tired of them. The FTSE 100 retailer Ocado also uses a handful of Bedeo's electric van to deliver online grocery orders. Boyner says the key to making conversions profitable is looking at vehicles whose owners have spent heavily on features behind the engine and who could then benefit from the much lower running and maintenance costs of electric vehicles. Conversion costs between 2,000 libras and 40,000 libras, depending on battery size, but fleets should make that back in about 3 years in fueling saving alone. Interesting. Boyner says, by comparison, a fully fitted refrigerated van might cost 70,000 libras. So, yeah, so I wonder why I guess if I am the only with this idea of have a beautiful old car electric, Boyner hopes to convince owners of the likes of refrigerated vans, ambulances, and even camper vans that they can keep the body of the vehicle and just swap out its engine. Quote, when you want to change, do you want to invest all over again? Boyner adds, it's a niche, but a big one. The more the money is spent on the existing vehicle, the more the market opportunity. The economic case. There are some perils with upgrading an older vehicle. In the Clipper retrofitted cab, your correspondents were briefly unable to exit, and as the old locking system went on the blink, vehicles will have to meet safety standards after conversions as well. But Clipper hopes that upgrading will make economic sense for taxi owners who do not want to pay the 67,000 libras a new hybrid cab for the London Electric Vehicle Company costs. At a taxi shelter by Embankment Station, an actual cabbie proudly shows off his 100% electric Nissan taxi. But there are not many of those. Launched in 2019, the model was scanned in 2022 when the Japanese car maker stopped making the vans on which it was based. So, yeah, a lot of they are talking more about taxis now, about cabs. I have this interest on a regular vehicle, not a van, not a cab. But that's it. So I've read a little garbage from The Guardian. Probably they are talking about the Guardian are talking against the right wing in Germany, against Vladimir Putin. I was listening a podcast today, a very suspicious podcast saying that Alexander Dugin, it is a Nazi. Probably this guy, this so-called leftish. You have to pay attention to life. If somebody says, hey, I am a leftist, and Putin is a Nazi, why they are talking that is just propaganda. That is I will read the last one from Cgtn again. Technology: Apple in talks to invest in OpenAI, report says. September 1, Cgtn. iPhone juggernaut Apple is in a talk to invest in OpenAI, the creator of Cgtn and the biggest name in generative artificial intelligence (AI), a news report said on Thursday. Technology, according to the Wall Street Journal, the company founded by Steve Jobs is at the founding table as OpenAI raises more money to help meet the heavy costs of building new technology. Reports said that OpenAI is in talks to reach an evaluation of $100 billion in the founding round led by venture capital firm Thrive Capital, which will pump in $1 billion. For months, news reports have said OpenAI has been in talks to raise the capital that will make it one of the most valuable tech companies in the world. Microsoft, which is OpenAI's biggest investor and takes home half of the startup's profits, is also part of the new founding round. The entry of Apple into OpenAI's ownership is confirmed. Will come as the company is set to announce its new iPhone on September 9 that are expected to optimize AI innovations. In June, Apple announced that it was making OpenAI's technology available as an option in the software for top-of-the-line iPhones, but added that AI tools made by other companies will also be available in time. Most of the AI features used by Apple users will use the company's own technology, but more complicated tasks will be deferred to OpenAI's powers in the customer choose to do so. I guess the stock market will increase. Oh, and well, I just passed the 47 minutes, Tommy. Let's go home, Tommy. I guess I'm going to buy a stock market from Apple, I guess.